Okay, so I see that you're doing a hands down approach, and I'll break it down from here. As you throw this jab, you're stepping in, and then you're pulling, and then you're sitting. That was a perfect opportunity for your opponent to hit you. However, he has short arms, so he's going to miss. But as he's throwing that, I see no defense, so you need to parry at least. And then you're moving to your right with your hand low. Now, granted, you did throw a punch, but see how his punch still almost got close to you. I'll return to this later because you do it 3 times. Now here you're gonna slip, and when you slip for the body hook, you at that distance, you can't keep your stomach that square to your opponent. Not just the stomach, but you're square so that you can get hit in the body or you can get hit in the head. Here you are again, circling to your right with your hand low. Your opponent would beat you if he throws a hook, but he doesn't. It does seem that you're a bit new with this hands low thing because you keep your head out as to bait people, but you're not really baiting them into any trap. If he had longer arms, he would have landed that. You have to have better ring generalship than this because here you have your entire space to your left open, yet you choose to go to the right and you walk straight into his outreached left hand. Now that's his lead hand. And before this, I was saying how you always go to the right with your hand low. And this is what I'm talking about. If you're going towards the person's lead hand, especially to the right on orthodox, you keep your hand up. Perfect example of a master of hands low. This is Muhammad Ali. Person's lead hand is there. You'll see him bring his hand up. You see, he was wanting to do the hook. You see that? Again, to the right on the lead hand, hand comes up because you're expecting the punch. You should maintain your long range better than this. You know, jab, measure. He should not be able to walk in on you like that. Now you smother, but you smother the wrong way because as you are getting around him, you back out with your head open for a punch. You're supposed to turn your opponent before you leave or exit. What I was taught is that you smother, you grab around their waist and you whip them, right? You smother around their waist and you whip them. And now they don't have the ability to hit you back.
When you want to get out, make sure you're whipping. Make sure you're grabbing and whipping, right? You whip. So you can get that distance if you need it, and so you can get out.
If you fought anybody better than this, you would have got tagged on your way out. Even though the guy you're fighting is also new at boxing, he's still able to close the distance on you. And if he was a hooker, all of his hooks would have beaten your punches because you punch from low coming up. If he just wings any kind of hook, he would clip you. Now, your ring generalship, you have to understand the momentum of your opponent because here he's coming forward. Now you bring your momentum. If he had a hook, that hook would have did damage, especially because your feet placement was bad. Now see, your foot, you put it on the inside of his lead foot as you are moving to your right. That's terrible. Even then, you could see how you could have tripped up. Here, when you're throwing your straight to the body, you divert your eyes at the last second, which makes you miss the punch, and then you're focused on not getting hit. You have to understand foot placement. Here you can see Pernell Whitaker, when he throws that jab, he steps at the front of his foot, not on the inside. Southpaw versus orthodox, you have to step either on the front or on the outside of his lead foot when you're circling to the right. Okay, so when you want to pivot on the right side of your opponent after throwing a straight, you have to do step pivots or shuffle pivots. You can't just pivot. You see how you leave yourself open? Because you're not changing the distance and you're not protecting yourself. Lomachenko, he does his shuffle steps and then pivots. Right? You can do that. See that shuffle step? You can do a shuffle step and pivot. Or you can do a step pivot. You actually do a step pivot here, but you do it to the wrong side and you leave yourself squared to your opponent. And if he had a punch, he could have knocked you down.